Good evening to all, and it's my pleasure welcoming you all for the SC Securities weekly market presentation for this week. So, as usual, let's start the presentation with the market outlook, and then we will proceed into economic highlights and international financial and commodity markets update. So, as you all can see on the screen, the stock market further dived deep in the bloodbath, and the for the week ended 18th November, the SPI index closed well below 8,000 benchmark level. And last Monday, we had the budget speech for the fiscal year 2023. And if you all can remember, the investors had a wait and see approach for last couple of weeks ahead of the budget speech. So, with the prospects regarding the future and the concerns over budget 2023 made it worse, the negative run that has been persisting for a couple of weeks now. So, recently, especially during Monday's trading session before the budget speech, SPI lost around 55 points to close at 8,363.29, and S&P SL 20 index also declined by around 14 points to close at 2,566.62. So during the day, the turnover was just 941 million, whereas foreign purchases were just 39 million over 63 million worth of foreign sales. So during Tuesday's trading session, with no improvement, negative market sentiment persisted. So during Tuesday's trading session, SPI declined by 72 points to close at 8,291.52, and S&P SL 20 index declined by 21.34 to close at 2,545.28. So the budget couldn't raise the hopes of the investors regarding the future of the country, but they have somewhat sort of a relief regarding not introducing a capital gain tax. Despite the positive factor, market continued to decline. During Tuesday's trading session, turnover, however, picked up to 1.57 million, and foreign purchasers reported a value of 157 million over 3 million worth of foreign sales. And during Wednesday's trading session, even the market witnessed a major decline in terms of both the indices. So SPI declined by around 204 points to close at 8,087.04, and S&P SL 20 index declined by 81 points to close at 2,464.20. During the day, turnover was 1.6 billion, and on a positive note, foreign purchases continued to pick up, and that reported a value of 141 million over 4 million worth of foreign sales. Then again, during Thursday's trading session and the Friday's trading session also, market continued to decline. And during Thursday's trading session, SPI lost around 52 points to close at 8,034.78, and S&P SL 20 index also declined by 4 points to close at 2,460.17. And during the day, turnover was again dropped to report a value of 977 million, whereas foreign purchases picked up and that reported a value of 61 million, whereas foreign sales were just 4 million. Investors' concerns regarding the indecisive stance of local debt restructuring has impacted on the market to perform negatively or further worsen the negative run. The speculation on a second nominal default and restructure to be imposed on rupee debt holders continue to tarnish the market. And despite the assurances from this state Minister of Finance regarding there is no domestic debt restructuring, because uh, because of that reason, even during Friday's trading session, that means today trading session as well, market continued to decline. So during the day, SPI flushed away around 217 points to close at 7,817.89 for the week, and that was the lowest in around 3.5 months. And S&P SR 20 index with market heavyweights also declined by 79 points to close at 2,381.53. So during the day, turnover, however, picked up to report a value of 1.4 billion, and foreign purchases picked up and reported a value of 97 million, over 2 million worth of foreign sales. So throughout the week, SPI had a major contraction along with the S&P SR 20. So SPI declined by 7.14% and S&P SR 20 index also declined by 7.70%, but with a slight positive note. Net foreign inflow was reported, or foreigners remained to be positive, and they reported a value of an inflow of 419.4 million. If we have a look at the treasury yields in terms of all three maturities declined by uh, several basis points. So 3 month maturity, 3 month treasuries are now offering a yield of 33.06%, and that was a 8 basis point reduction from its previous yield of 33.14, and 6 month yield is now at 32.51%, and that is a 2% 2 basis point reduction from the previous yield, and 12-month yield is also now at 29.53%, and that even a 2 basis points reduction from the previous yield of 29.55%. So looking at the spot rates, LKR in terms of USD, GBP, and EUR, and also against JPY, that means Japanese yen, continue to depreciate. But in terms of LKR, in terms of USD, continue to be the same, and that remain more or less the same. Looking at the economic highlights, so the budget speech was the talk of the town for this week because investors had anticipations regarding the budget from a couple of weeks. So, budget for the fiscal year 2023 has presented to the Parliament last Monday. That means on 14th November. So overall, the government expecting a budget deficit as a percentage of GDP to 7.9%, which is actually a reduction from its 9.8% in the previous fiscal year 2022. And this is actually with the stringent measures that have been proposed to increase the revenue and the tax base of the country. So central government is expecting to raise a total revenue of 3,415 billion rupees, while they are expecting a total expenditure of 5,819 billion rupees. So apart from the recently gazetted tax revisions that came into effect from the 1st of October onwards, there were only minimal new tax revisions were made or proposed by the budget speech for 2023. And anyhow, the fees and charges have also demanded to increase by 20%, which has not been revised for like 2 years now. So, 92% revenue is expected to raise from direct and indirect taxes, and the growth in revenue as per the budgeted figures is of 63.1%. SOE reforms like the structural changes or restructuring programs that have been focused to do in terms of Sri Lanka Airlines, Sri Lanka Telecom, Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation, and Hilton in terms of these government sector reforms and the FDI improvement measures need to be pinpointed. And also, there is no significant amount of tax changes to the listed companies, which have already done by the previously gazetted changes to taxes. So the impact to CSC was somewhat minimal or at a moderate level. And these are the basic points from the budget speech for the year 2023. And apart from that, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka has published purchasing managers indices for manufacturing and service activities for the month of October. So compared to month-on-month basis, during the month of October, the indices in terms of manufacturing and services both decline. So manufacturing PMI has declined to 38.4 by 4.2 index points on month basis, and that was basically attributed by the manufacturing activities decline in new orders production, and especially the contraction of manufacturing activities in food and beverage sectors and textiles and wearing apparel sectors. And services PMI is also dropped to 47.9 by the 3.3 index points on month basis, and that was attributed to the decrease in the service activities in real estate, insurance, postal, and courier services. Let me move on to the global commodity markets update. So, oil prices somewhat declined by 3% for the week with the demand concerns from the COVID cases in China and the expectations regarding Federal Reserve's aggressive rate hike. And the gold prices, however, headed for a weekly gain, but the gains were somewhat capped by the overarching geopolitical tensions after Russian made missile attacked on Poland, and copper prices also reduced for the week with the outlook for global demand and the hawkish remarks from the Federal Reserve. And if we have a look at the financial market aspect, most of the global markets resulted a decline for the week, or they have ended up with weekly losses. That was basically due to the concerns regarding Federal Reserve's rate hike, anticipating a Federal Reserve to seek a rate hike, especially during the month of December. And that was fueled by the employment data from the US front. And apart from that, the recent missile attack on Poland, which has killed two people, was also a concern for stocks to decline, where the US President, G7, and NATO together accused Russia for sending or for the in terms of the missile attack that was placed on Poland. So with these concerns, were stocks has caused a decline for the week. But however, the Hong Kong market Hang Seng reported a noteworthy increase, and that was because of the gains that have been resulted in the tech sector stocks. So these are the points that I got to share from my end. Here onwards, Harin will continue the presentation. Over to you, Harin.
Thank you, Sachini. We were able to see how the price of gold actually broke the 1700 key area of previous daily resistance and now trading above the level of daily support of 1700 and 1700, and also at the level of the price is trading at the level of daily support 1750, 1760 around. With that being said, the price is actually trading above both 50 and 20 EMAs at the moment, which also indicates a bullish momentum. We might be able to see a small pullback to the downside for a higher low formation, and once the higher low formation has occurred, we'll be able to see the price moving up again, as the price is actually trading about both 50 and 20 EMAs. The RSI closed at 61.83 for the following week of 18th of November. And also we have the declining trend over here that I have drawn that has been broken out as well. So we have clear confirmation that the market is that the count is actually making a bullish momentum and bullish momentum. So we have the index next. So index, we were able to see that it is trading close to the daily support level of 7,950, 8,000 being a strong psychological area once again. Because we previously over around mid of June, we were able to see how the index made a major role around that key area. If the index manages to basically rebound from this area, or reverse from this area of 8,000, we will be able to expect the daily resistance 8,450, 8,500. If it breaks the level of 8,000, we have the 7,800 area, which has been tested quite a number of times. If it breaks that key level also, we have the next daily support at 7,450, 7,500. So as for now, the index seems to be quite bearish, because it's basically trading below both 50 and 20 MA. And also the RSI comes to a mid-range, and it managed to close at the mid-range for this week. And we have the top pick of the week, which is SPEN. Icon SPEN. So here on SPEN, basically the price is currently ranging in between this daily support and daily resistance that I have drawn. And also we have a symmetrical triangle. So it's very hard to say that whether it could actually break this daily resistance of 137.5, 140, or whether it would cross below the level of daily support 122.5, 125. Because it's in a symmetrical triangle, and the moving averages, of course, doesn't indicate a proper give a proper direction here. RSI comes to a level of 44.46. The daily RSI closed at 44.46 for this week, 18th of November 2022. If it manages to break this symmetrical triangle from above and cross above the daily resistance, we have the next daily resistance at 152.5, 155. And if it manages to go further below, be bearish below the level of daily support, we have the next daily support at 107.5, 110. So these are the key technical insights. I hope you'll enjoy this video. Please do like and subscribe this video and our channel. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much.